multiplication and division of radical expressions. Alright, so to multiply radicals, you multiply what's on the outside and what's on the inside. So there's nothing out here, so it's 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 5 is 15, and that stays on the inside. And it's just the square root of 15, which cannot be simplified. Here, negative 5 times 6 is negative 30. 10 times 2 is 20, and the 20 can be simplified. So it has a perfect square factor of 4, comes out as 2, multiply what's in front, negative 60, square root of 5. Here, there's just ones out in the front. 12 times 3 is 36. N to the third times n is going to be n to the fourth. These are both perfect squares. Square root of 36 is 6. Half of my exponents, 6n squared. Still multiplying. 1 terms times 2, so we're going to be distributing, which is just multiplication. Take it one at a time. So here I'm going to have a 1 times 2 on the outside will be 2. 8 times 3 is 24. Next, positive. 1's on the outside. 16. 8 times 2. 16 under the radical, under the square root. Both of these can be simplified. 4 times 6 is the largest perfect square. This is a perfect square, so that would just be 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Multiply. They are not like terms. I can't combine. I stop. Here, let's distribute to these two terms. So 5 on the outside, x times y on the inside, which is simplified. Negative 2 square root x. These are not like radicands, so I can't combine them. I stop here. Over here, keep distributing, multiplying. 3 times 1 here. 6 times 3 will be 18. Minus 6 times 8, 48. They both can be simplified. The largest perfect square factor here is going to be 9 times 2. I believe this is 16 times 3. Good. Square root of 9 is 3. Multiply those. 9 square root of 2 minus 4 square root of 3. I stop there because they're not like radicals. Okay, we're still finding product, multiplying. 2 terms times 2 terms. FOIL, still multiplication. Square root of x times the square root of x is the square root of x squared, which is just x. So anything times itself under square root is just the radicand. Minus the square root of x plus the square root of x minus 1. These two cancel out and it'll be x minus 1. Notice these are opposite signs, that's why these cancel out. Square root of a times the square root of a is just a, minus 4 square root of a plus 4 square root of a minus 16, a minus 16. So these two binomials that are the same with different signs or conjugates, they're used to get rid of the radicals and to rationalize, which we haven't gotten to yet. So we're going to multiply our FOIL. Square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3. Minus 2 square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 3 minus 4. So we're left with negative 1. FOIL, 4 on the outside times just 2, because the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2, so that'll be 8, plus 3 times 2 is 6 square root of 2, minus 6 square root of 2, minus 9. Alright, if we're simplifying fractions with radicals, the first thing you always want to check is if you can simplify it together. If you can, it's always going to be the easiest way to put it under one sign. So 26 divided by 2 is 13, so it's the square root of 13 and you're done. So here, all under one square root, the y's will simplify out, and then you're left with a perfect square. Square root of 16 is 4, half of the 6. Here, the 5 will be on the outside, but I've got 1/9 and t squared. The square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 9 is 3. T squared will just be t, so it's 5 over 3t. Make sure we can see this. That's 1/4. One of these goes away. Y to the 4. The square root of 1 is 1. 10 times the square root of 4y to the 4th is 2y squared. 1 over 20y squared. Okay, when you're rationalizing a denominator, it means you're going to rewrite the fraction with no radical in the denominator. That's fine on top, not on the bottom. So you're going to multiply the fraction by one whole, same thing on the top and bottom. You're choosing the denominator on purpose to get rid of that radical down there. Anything you do to the bottom, you do to the top. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2. 5 times the square root of 2 is 5 times the square root of 2. So here, I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by the square root of 2. This goes to 2. 2 times the square root of 2 will simplify to square root of 2. Here, square root of 7 to rationalize my denominator. I can't simplify this as a whole, so I will put separate radicals, multiply by the denominator. This will be 22 on the inside, which is simplified, over 11, and that's all I can do there. Here I can't simplify together, so it's x over the square root of 5. I still need to rationalize. X square root of 5 over 5. Here I'm gonna square root of t, square root of 50 is gonna be 25 times 2, so 5 square root of 2. Still gonna rationalize. This will be 2t. Here, this will be 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Same here. 16 times 2 will be 4 square root of 2. Still going to rationalize. Whoops. 2y over 4 times 2, 8. This isn't on your paper, but if you have a binomial, you use the conjugate to get rid of it, and you FOIL and distribute. So 2 plus 1. Plus 1. Now if I FOIL this out, I'll get 2 plus square root of 2 minus square root of 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Here I'm going to have 4 square root of 2 plus 4 after I distribute. All over 1 is just 4 square root of 2 plus 4.